Hey guys, this is Andy Clements and welcome to another episode of Muscle Building Mastery, the Muscle Building Mastery podcast. And what you'll notice if you're watching this on YouTube, on the video version, is today I've got hands-free because normally in the episode so far I've had the old phone in my hand there, but I've got myself a little camera, little tripod, and we're gonna go from there. So it's a little bit more professional because I kept dropping the phone and stuff, right? You probably noticed that before. So yeah, cool. So today what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about the top 3 takeaways from that I've had over the last decade of my life from training 1,000 people. Now 1,000 men and 1,000 women to all achieve a similar kind of goal, all achieve how to build more muscle, lose fat and achieve a better physique. So is that cool with you if we go through a few of the lessons I've learned over there? Because some of them really surprised me. Because I learned a lot of lessons from my own training, but then the lessons I learned from helping all these different people, they were like learning things at a much deeper level. Because what I found was everybody has kind of the same stuff, right? Everybody has kind of the same, like you can say that people are individual and everyone has their own goals, but ultimately everybody kind of gets hung up on these same things, and I started to notice these patterns, and that's what I want to talk about you in today's episode of the podcast, is the patterns that I noticed. There's 3 big patterns that I noticed that taught me specifically 3 massive lessons that have helped me in my training and have helped me be a better coach and help people through change much more quickly and much more efficiently. So is that cool if I go through that with you now? Okay. So takeaway number 1 is that you don't know it all. Okay, so this is something that I was 100% convinced of when I first started in the gym. I thought, yeah, I absolutely know everything there is to know. I used to think that, I can remember literally turning down somebody offering to pay for a personal trainer for me because I didn't think I need one. I was like, no, I don't need it. I was like 18 years old, right? I had no muscle whatsoever. But for some reason, us guys, us blokes in the gym, we think that we have like an inbuilt how-to system for the gym, right? Because we're men and that's what we do, but we really don't. We have no idea unless somebody shows, unless we learn. Like, it's a skill like anything else. Unless you learn, like, you don't have the inbuilt skill to get into a car and drive, right? You have to learn how to drive. Somebody has to teach you what the clutch does and the brake and the accelerator, and teach you how to steer and teach you how to change gear and all the rest of it, right? And training is just the same. Training is just a skill that you've got to pick up and you've got to develop over time. So that's definitely something that I was under the illusion in my training, but I also noticed that in a bunch of my clients. Not everybody, some people didn't have as big an ego as I had, but there's definitely a lot of people, and this is more common in men than women, is people are unwilling to take on advice. Even those that pay for a coach, they're kind of like, yeah, well, I understand what you're saying, but I still kind of think my way's better. It's like, well, your way's not better because you're not getting results with it, you know? So that's definitely the first thing, is that you don't know it all. You need to be willing to take on advice. Now, whether that advice is from somebody in person or it's from a podcast like you're watching now, so congratulations if you're watching this podcast, you're willing to take on advice. Or whether you're just doing it on YouTube, you're enrolling on courses, whatever you're doing, be willing to learn and be willing to take on advice. I will tell you now that I am nearly 12 years into my training career, nearly 12 years since I first set foot in the gym, and I still need to constantly study and constantly increase my knowledge, and I'm still learning stuff every single time I step in the gym. There's still little incremental changes that I can make. So this journey's never over. You never know it all. You never ever know it all, and there's nobody in the world that knows it all. But you can keep getting better, and I view it as like a bit of a process, like a bit of a journey, a bit of a challenge, where you can keep incrementally improving yourself, improving your knowledge, and then applying that knowledge and seeing what that knowledge does. So that's the first takeaway, is that you need to be willing to learn, you need to be coachable, and you need to be willing to know that you don't know it all. Okay, so that's takeaway number 1. Takeaway number 2 is the stuff that works is simpler than you think. Okay, so what I mean by this is that it's very cool and fashionable to focus on like the 5% of training that's flashy and that farms in Instagram likes, and that isn't really much use. But this isn't what works. 9 times out of 10. Okay, so what I mean by this is that if you scroll through Instagram, I don't do social media anymore because it does my head in, but if you scroll through Instagram or Facebook or whatever social media platform you go on, normally Instagram is the worst for this, and you type in the hashtag like fitness or fit farm or whatever, your gym life or whatever the hell people are searching for, right? You'll find like a big percentage of like made up BS exercises, right? Because you'll find people like doing stupid stuff with resistance bands, like squatting on Bosu balls, like just doing stuff that that has minimal to no return in terms of results, but will be eye-catching and attention-grabbing on Instagram, and they'll farm in a few likes on Instagram, right? But if you're actually looking for the results isn't necessarily the sexy stuff that's going to get the Instagram likes. The results is the simple stuff done really, really, really well, okay? So it's the progressive overload, it's the beating your numbers every single week, it's the executing movements properly, and just the normal movements that you know how to do, right? You execute them with precision, you go internal, you learn how to contract the muscle, and that's the stuff that works. It's the stuff that's really simple, and it will get you 80% of the way there, if not more. So if you focus on that, focus on getting the right amount of sleep at night, focus on your diet, you don't need to go and look at all these flashy BS stuff. You just need to make sure that you focus on the 80% and you will get most of the way there. I promise you that. Okay, so that's takeaway number 2. Takeaway number 3, the last takeaway, because the battery light's flashing on my camera now, which is not good. So the last takeaway here is that you must start where you're at. One of the biggest, this maybe should have been number 1, because one of the biggest mistakes I see from people is they look at social media, look at these fitness magazines, they look at YouTube, they look at people that have been doing it as long as I have, or even longer, like 15, 20 years sometimes, and they think that, well, that's what they're doing, so that's what I need to be doing. You know, they look at someone like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Ronnie Coleman in his prime, or Dorian Yates, or I don't know, a fitness model like Ryan Terrier, somebody like that, right? Somebody who's been doing this a long time, looks amazing, and got an awesome physique. And they start like, right, I need to follow their workouts. And what's their workout plan? That's the first thing they think. What's their workout plan? It doesn't matter what their workout plan is. Their workout plan is their workout plan. You know, they've developed it and they've honed it over years to be good, right for them, right? They would not have been following that workout plan on day 1 of the gym. So if you're on day 1 of the gym or year 1 of the gym, then you don't need to be following someone who's on year 21 of the gym, right? Because that ain't right for you. You need to start from where you're at right now. So where they're at might be like be able to follow a chest and bicep split. They might be able to follow, you know, a back and a back day on its own, right? You might need to do more of a full body day. You might need to do an upper body or a lower body split, right? You might need to do different kinds of workouts. I don't know exactly what it is you need to do, but you need to start from exactly where you're at right now, and you need to work your way up from there. You ain't gonna be able to stack 200 kilos on a bench press the first day you go in the gym. Just start from where you're at, and don't compare yourself to these people who have been training for much longer than you. Don't compare yourself to anybody but you. So you set a complete blank slate the first day you go in the gym, and then every day from there on you compare yourself to your previous self, nobody else. That's a big takeaway for you there. Compare yourself to your previous self, not somebody else. And that's pretty much it. That's your 3 takeaways for today. So your first one was you don't know it all, be willing to take on advice. Your second one was the stuff that works is simpler than you think, not the flashy stuff on Instagram. And the third one was that you must start where you're at right now, not where somebody else is who's much further along from you. So that's all I've got for today. A little bit short of an episode today, but I hope that made sense. Don't forget to subscribe, because I'm going to be releasing new episodes of the Muscle Building Mastery podcast every single day, and I will catch you next time for another episode of the Muscle Building Mastery podcast. Peace.